It's 2 a.m. You're staring at the ceiling. Your phone is face down beside you because you promised yourself you wouldn't check it again. Your mind is racing through tomorrow's to-do list, a conversation from 3 days ago, a sound the refrigerator just made. You feel broken. You feel like the only person on Earth who can't just close their eyes and drift off. But the real answer is far stranger than broken sleep. For most of human history, this exact moment belonged to everyone. Not as a malfunction, as a feature. Historian Roger Kirch spent over a decade combing through diaries, court records, and medical texts from pre-industrial Europe. What he found rewrote what we thought we knew about sleep. Before artificial light, people didn't sleep in one continuous 8-hour block. They slept in two. A first sleep starting shortly after dusk. Then, around midnight, they woke up. Not panicked, not anxious. They got up. They tended the fire. They talked quietly with a partner. They prayed. Some visited neighbors who were also awake in this same shared window. Kirch found this practice referenced so often in so many languages that it had its own name, the watch, or more poetically, the watching. Then, after an hour or two, they returned to bed for a second sleep that carried them to dawn. 2 sleeps, 1 quiet hour of wakefulness in between. For thousands of years, that was simply what a night looked like. So what happened? The candle happened. Then the gas lamp. Then, in 1879, the light bulb. Suddenly, night stopped being dark. Factories needed workers on fixed shifts. Clocks needed obedience. The 2-part night, with its lazy hour of fireside talk, didn't fit an industrial schedule, so it vanished. Not because human biology changed, because the world around human biology changed fast, and biology didn't get a vote. Here's where it gets stranger. In 1990, psychiatrist Thomas Weir ran an experiment at the National Institute of Mental Health. He took a group of volunteers and put them in a room with no artificial light for 14 hours a day, mimicking the long nights of a pre-industrial winter. No phones, no screens, no bulbs, just darkness for 14 hours, every single day. By the 4th week, something remarkable happened. The volunteers' sleep split in 2, on its own, without anyone telling them to. They fell asleep a few hours after dark, woke for 1 to 3 hours in the middle of the night, calm and alert, then slipped into a second sleep until morning. Weir's subjects hadn't learned a new behavior. They had rediscovered an old one that had been sitting dormant in their biology the entire time, waiting for the right conditions to resurface. This tells you something important about that 2 a.m. ceiling staring moment. Your body might not be malfunctioning. It might be remembering. Sleep itself is older and stranger than most people realize. Every mammal sleeps. Even animals you wouldn't expect. Dolphins sleep with half their brain at a time, one eye open so they can keep swimming and surface to breathe. Some birds can do something similar mid-flight. Sleep is not a luxury evolution tolerates, it is a cost evolution insists on paying every single day for every animal with a brain complex enough to need it. Why would evolution build in a state where you're blind, defenseless, and unaware of predators for hours at a time? That question puzzled scientists for decades. The leading answer now points to the brain itself. Neuroscientist Mike Nedergaard discovered something in 2013 that reshaped sleep science. During deep sleep, the brain's cells shrink slightly, and a system of channels opens up, flushing cerebrospinal fluid through brain tissue like a nightly wash cycle. This system clears out metabolic waste, including proteins linked to neurodegenerative disease. Your brain, in other words, takes out the trash, but only when you're asleep. So sleep was never wasted time. It was maintenance. Urgent, biologically non-negotiable maintenance, which makes the modern relationship with sleep even stranger. We've turned something the body insists on into something the mind feels guilty about. People brag about needing only 4 hours. Productivity culture treats sleep as a tax on ambition rather than the thing that makes ambition sustainable. Meanwhile, that 2 a.m. wakeful window, the one your great-great-great-grandparents would have spent by candlelight, calm and unhurried, has become a source of dread. You check the clock. You do the math on how many hours are left. You reach for your phone, and the blue light tells your brain it's daytime, which makes falling back asleep even harder. Your ancestors had a name and a ritual for this hour. You have anxiety and a notification screen. There's a question worth sitting with here. What if insomnia, at least some of the time, isn't a disorder at all? What if it's a body trying to run an ancient two-part program inside a world that only believes in one? That doesn't mean every sleepless night is secretly healthy, or that chronic insomnia shouldn't be taken seriously. It means the panic itself, the part where you spiral about being broken, might be doing more damage than the waking ever did. Your pre-industrial ancestors woke at midnight and felt nothing but the ordinary rhythm of being alive. You wake at midnight and feel like a failure. The bedroom changed. The light changed. The clock changed. The brain underneath all of it stayed remarkably, stubbornly the same. So tonight, when the clock reads 2 a.m. and your eyes are open again, you might not be lying awake broken. You might be lying awake in the oldest, most ordinary hour humans have ever known. The watching, waiting, quietly, for whatever has always come next.